wrecked or barely even knew her. Hey guys, it's Mr. Jeff. We're back out in the middle of nowhere, PA, Forbes State Forest, and I wanted to start a new topic that pertains to every mushroom that's medicinal or edible. And that is their compounds that comprise their cell walls. Similar to cholesterol in our bodies, they produce a compound called ergosterol. Let's check it out. So ergosterol starts all the way back to a simple compound known as isoprene, the building block of many, I'm talking thousands of compounds in the animal, plant, and fungal kingdoms, as well as bacteria and protists, of course. I interrupt my own video to break down the way I draw these molecules, because I feel like I'm doing y'all an injustice not explaining. I've got isoprene written on the side of my truck 5 different ways. You've seen this back in high school chem class. Check it out. So this is my simplest way of writing isoprene. That's how I wrote it on the other side of my truck. But it doesn't really tell you much if you don't know what you're looking at here. We don't write out the hydrogens generally. All we're identifying in organic chemistry with these sticks and lines here, without any letters written, each point is a carbon atom. So I've got 5 carbons here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those 5 carbons each need, they're looking for 4 bonds. And these lines indicate where the bonds are. So the carbon up here has a double bond to this carbon, but it still has 2 other bonds. So I'm allowed to assume there's 2 hydrogens right here. So I have it written out where you can actually see the carbons and hydrogens spelled out as they're shown there. So we've got the carbons on the inside here. We've got a lone hydrogen attached to here because there's already 3 bonds going to other carbons. So the 4th one is fulfilled with this hydrogen. The carbon up here has the 2 bonds going down here, leaving 2 hydrogens left. The single bond carbon to carbon here leaves room for 3 hydrogens up here. And just like this other double bond, same thing down here. So another name for isoprene is actually 2-methyl-1,3-butadiene. Just a little fun fact. And then I got the ball and stick example here, and kind of the molecular or the atomic cloud model. I don't know what you call this, but this kind of gives you a 3-dimensional representation of what we're writing up here with this little 2-dimensional depiction. So I wanted you guys to make note of that. When I draw on the truck, I'm usually going this method, so it doesn't really give you an idea of what we're talking about here. But just wanted to show you guys that. And if you guys are interested in a breakdown of some basic organic chemistry, maybe do a couple videos that get into that further, I can do that. But I'm not really trying to go that direction. Let me know in the comments. But isoprene is such a foundational compound in life on Earth that I'd be amiss to not even start with isoprene. Isoprene is also known as hemiterpene because it takes 2 isoprene molecules to form a monoterpene. So hence hemi meaning half. Half of a terpene is an isoprene. And I have underneath here isoprene, I have this long chain of isoprene molecules, 6 of them to be exact, that form what's called squalene, or also known as squalene. Squalene, because it contains 6 of these isoprene units, would be considered a triterpene, or 3 terpenes in one. By the way, just a little fun fact. Did you know isoprene is the culprit behind the Blue Ridge Mountains? Meaning, the reason the Blue Ridge Mountains are blue is because trees are giving off isoprene, which refracts the light just right on those mountain ridges to give them that blue hue. Just a little fun fact for y'all. Other fun fact. Isoprene is literally the building block of rubber. Natural rubber is polyisoprene. It's a polymer of a bunch, I'm talking thousands upon thousands, if not even over 1 million isoprene molecules linked together. Natural rubber. Another fun fact for you. Anyway, what were we saying? Oh yeah, so squalene is 6 of these isoprenes linked together. And what happens is fungi and animals alike are able to, through enzymatic reactions, convert this squalene to squalene oxide. Check this out. So the first enzymatic reaction in fungi and animals would be the attachment of an oxygen, forming an epoxide right here. We can loosely call this squalene oxide, and that will be our intermediate before we turn squalene into Ergosterol, which is our next step. So let me at least get this up on the board for y'all. Okay, so now we have squalene oxide, this long terpenoid. This is a triterpenoid. The next step in this chain as we reach our end destination is converting the squalene oxide through a series of cyclizations. We're going to form rings from this chain here to form our Ergosterol. So there's more enzymatic steps. I'm not redrawing it because it's already drawn here for y'all, but as you notice, I've done the green and purple little style. I don't know if you can catch that because my light's kind of bright. Wow, it almost looks white. Let me back up. Can you see the purple and the green? All I did there was just to indicate to y'all where our isoprene units are located, how it is a triterpenoid because it's got 6 of these isoprenes. Let's count them out here. I've got 1 here, 2 here in the purple, 3 here for the green, the next purple, the next green, and we finish off with this purple here. Wow, does that look white? There. The sun is bright. Now we can see some colors. Check that out. Just keep my arm floating way up here so you guys can see that. Ergosterol. Now, Ergosterol, or what I may call lanthanide triterpenoids, formed off this lanthanide backbone or Ergosterol backbone. Modifications to that are found throughout the fungal kingdom. Just in some of the research I've done in the past couple of years, you find lanthanide triterpenoids in a lot of polypores, including reishi. And the studies are not endless, but they're definitely quite lengthy on the different effects, the positive effects that these lanthanide triterpenoids have in our body. And what I've wrote here can be applied both to the lanthanide triterpenoids. Many of them have these qualities. It's not like they all contain every single one of these. It's that in these classes of compounds, there may be, out of a dozen or 2 dozen compounds, 2 or 3 of them that show aromatase inhibition, for example. And I'll get into that in a little bit. Or maybe 4 of the dozen compounds show anti-neurodegenerative qualities in vitro. So this is all stuff that I'm kind of shotgun blasting you what's out there in the mushroom kingdom when we're talking about these triterpenoid compounds. You hear that word, that it's a buzzword in the medicinal mushroom like lingo. You hear people talk about triterpenoids and alcohol extracts and tinctures and this and that. When they're talking about triterpenoids, this is what's going on, guys. With just a few more enzymatic reactions to our Ergosterol, we get, in our bodies, we get the formation of cholesterol, but in the bodies of fungi, they get Ergosterol. This compound is a building block of their cell walls. And if you know even a little bit about mushroom anatomy or fungal anatomy, their cells, also known as hypha, are basically their whole body. It's just all one tissue running throughout under, we'll say, like in the ground. We talk about the mycelia that's running under this in the soil throughout. That's a hyphal network, and every cell is composed of ergosterol and ergosteroid compounds that comprise its cell wall, just like our cell walls are made of cholesterol. So it's not even a question of, well, what mushroom do I have to consume to get ergosterol in my diet? Any of them that won't kill you and that's non-toxic. If you're consuming a mushroom as food, even the mushrooms they put in Campbell's cream of mushroom soup is going to contain ergosterol to some degree. I'm just saying, consume mushrooms in your diet. But as I go further with our mushroom chemistry series, we're going to get into just like different novel lanthanum triterpenoids or ergosterol triterpenoids. And I just wanted to give you guys a foundation of what is he talking about using all these big words. Well, this is what I'm talking about, guys. Triterpenoids for your health. Rapid fire, guys. Cytotoxic. Many of these compounds, the vast majority of these compounds have been shown to be cytotoxic in vitro to cancer cell lines, a multitude of them. I can't even get into all of them. Anti-tumoral kind of goes along with that, preventing the spread of these tumors. Anti-inflammatory. Many of these compounds, these triterpenoids, in a variety of mushrooms, have been shown to have anti-inflammatory effects. And anti-inflammatory means anti-aging. That's actually going to be correlating with this anti-neurodegenerative, because what we consider neurodegeneration is generally a result of inflammation. What is this? Aromatase inhibitor. So check this out, guys. Couldn't just not explain aromatization. So here we are. I'm using testosterone as our example. The starter steroid gets aromatized by an aromatase enzyme where aromatizes this ring by the removal of this oxidized, which it's not oxidized, but it gets oxidized, this methyl group here, and the removal of that formic acid will leave behind this aromatized ring, a benzene ring basically. That's what's being referred to when we talk about aromatization of a steroid through an aromatase enzyme. And let's, for example, when you aromatize testosterone, which is a byproduct of cholesterol, right? Or a product of cholesterol, when you aromatize it, it forms estradiol, which is an estrogen. Some of the compounds actually inhibit aromatase in our bodies when we consume them. So, for example, you consume one of these ergosteroids, you get it in your diet on a regular basis as a man, and you're trying to keep your testosterone levels up, like bodybuilders and weightlifters and athletes, they know about aromatase inhibitors because many of the synthetic aromatase inhibitors you can buy on the market are banned in the Olympics and in many professional sports because it's going to increase testosterone and almost like giving you a cheating advantage. Consuming mushrooms on a regular basis, especially ones that have certain triterpenoids, are going to naturally inhibit aromatase, keeping your testosterone levels up. But actually, the medical community is studying the aromatase inhibition of many of these compounds, not for the performance enhancement, but for the effects it would have against estrogen receptor dependent breast cancers. So look into that further if you'd like, but eat your mushrooms, folks. Speaking of eating mushrooms, did you know ergosterol is the building block to vitamin D2? And if you lay your mushrooms out in the sun, say you buy some fresh mushrooms, white button mushrooms, Agaricus bisporus, right? They're white. But you lay them out in the sun, they'll start to get a tan. And that tan, just like we get a tan, we're producing vitamin D from the sun, so do they. And when they produce vitamin D, they're converting ergosterol to vitamin D. So their ergosterol content will naturally go down in those mushrooms as the vitamin D increases. But that's not a bad thing because we need vitamin D in our diets too. So get you some mushrooms in your diet. I am a broken mushroom record, guys. Hey, if you want to know more health tips, then eat more mushrooms and watch more of my videos, guys. I appreciate you tuning into my channel. If this is the first time you ever been on this channel and you like this kind of crazy mushroom content, hit that like button, subscribe for more. And until next time, hold on, wait a minute. Stay after this video if you're here for the premiere. We discuss what we just talked about live as a after party chat, we'll say. So stick around after if you're watching this for the live premiere. But for the rest of y'all's, and until next time, peace. Basically, what I'm getting at is if you got that loud, you can make a hormone too, baby.